is very, very important. Anything that you feel like we missed on the hitting? Are those a couple drills you feel like you could run with the kids? Okay, all right. We ready to move on to fielding?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right here. It's probably the best tool that you can have for a player. Probably the worst thing that you could have is a nice big glove. What happens is, one, they get real lazy, and two, the ball is supposed to spend very little time in a glove. So if you have a big glove, and it's okay for us coaches to have big gloves, especially me, I'm short and I'm old. So it's okay for me to reach and have the ball stay in there. Okay? But for a kid, that's probably the worst thing that can happen. So there's some things that we can do. The first thing we're going to do, though, is get the kids so they're in a nice balanced position and ready to catch a ball. If I can have Mike come up here. Mike, can you get into a ready position for me? Okay, and then can you show them the triangle? Okay, now he's on the weight is on the balls of the feet. He's catching the ball out front. Now go ahead and stand up, catch a ball, a line drive. He's going to catch it out in front also. Feet placement would do the same. This is just regular catch, the ball coming to somebody, the ball coming right to the base. As with hitting, it's the same basic position. It's the same balance point. Ball's on your feet. The only difference is that bring our hands up here, we're bringing them out front. Okay? Now, catching a ball. For a T-baller, when they are just starting out, the biggest thing they're going to try to do is just place the glove somewhere close and hope that the ball falls in. Now, once they get a little bit better, they're still in T-ball, they'll start actually catching the ball. Now, how many of you have heard the phrase, catch with two hands? Okay. Do we want to catch with two hands? Okay. Why do we want to catch with two hands?
Secure the ball.
Okay.
You're going to throw the ball up.
Okay. Both are good. You're going to secure it and you're going to throw it. It is really hard to throw a ball. I'm left-handed. If I've got my glove in this hand, it's really hard to throw the ball from here if I have a glove on. The only way I can throw the ball is to come get it, put it in this arm. Now, what's really hard is if I'm up here, do we want to be throwing with our arm out here? We want to be throwing with our arm back here. So if we're having to do a lot of reaching, it's making it much more difficult. Now, if a T-baller never catches a ball all season, but they get to the point where they can block the ball with their hand and start getting the motion of pulling that ball out with their throwing hand, they're actually going to be much farther ahead than if they're reaching all over the place and catching the ball. Mike, go ahead and toss me a couple balls. Because if I'm an infielder, that's how long that ball's going to stay in my glove. So, if I'm teaching them to go like this, I'm really not teaching them good baseball. Now, the glove is the number one protection for any player out in the field. The number one thing that we want to teach the kids is get their glove in front of the ball. So, whether they catch it or not, I want that glove hitting that ball. The rest of that coordination is going to come to them fairly quickly after that. But if we can get to the point using wiffle balls, tennis balls, or T-balls, where they're just blocking the ball, getting it out of their hand into their throwing hand pretty quick. Now, quite frankly, it's just as easy to catch a ball with the two hands and pull it out as it is to be reaching for that ball. So it's a little bit scarier for the kids, though, and that's why it's good to use wiffle balls to have a ball coming at them. You'll see a lot of the kids, their movement is like this. With the wiffle ball, they're going to be left out to try to get out of the way. So what I would really suggest is the majority of your throws are with wiffle balls. Do enough with T-balls that when they get in the game, they're not all of a sudden, holy cow, the ball's heavy and hard. You know, I'm afraid of it. Do enough that they're not afraid of it, but to get their repetitions with balls that they know won't hurt. Coming back to 99-cent store, you can get car wash at the 99-cent store, and I'll tell you, they absolutely love it. You cannot catch a ball in this thing. You can't. But what you can do is put it up, the ball up against it. You can do the same thing with ground balls. And what you want to look for here is that he's in his three-point stance. And notice his feet. He's now implementing that two-step throw. Now, how realistic is it for a 5 or 6-year-old to be able to take a ground ball like that? Not very at first. And they're not ever going to get to the point of 6 years old where they're as fluid as what Mike says. But they will start getting the concept. Now, if you're doing this, and Mike's daughter, we did this drill with her a couple weeks ago for the first time. And they get in the car, and the first thing she says is, "Are we going to do that every practice?" She had fun with it. She loved it. You can't overuse it, though. Again, stay 5 to 7 minutes per drill. But this is one, we just call it quick feet, quick hands. And you can line the kids up. You can throw it up. You can throw it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it with bare hands. If I can just get 4 of you, Mike will start out right there. If I can get 4 more people in the line right over here.